So I bought a new tripod, the Peak Design Travel Tripod, the aluminium version. This tripod is a very big talking point within the community. Some people hate it, some people love it, some people just don't know anything about it. And in this video I'm gonna tell you why I bought this tripod, what been the reason, what are my likes, what are my dislikes. So why did I buy the Peak Design Travel Tripod? If there are pretty much cheaper tripods out which doing exactly the same job for like £100 or anything similar. The main reason why I bought the Peak Design Travel Tripod is for the compact size and form factor, because this tripod isn't really much bigger than a small water bottle, which is very handy. And because I want to carry a tripod more often around, I've been looking for something small, compact, easy to carry around. And if you see, I almost can wrap my hand around this tripod. So it's definitely handy to have a compact sized tripod which fits pretty much in every single pocket. Second reason why I bought a Peak Design Travel Tripod is for their clip system, their carrier system. It's compatible with Peak Design. I own a few items from Peak Design, such as like a backpack, the carrier clip and a tripod. So it's very simple, easy to move around the camera if you wanted to. Come on, let's get in. Here we go. Clip it in, take it off, put it into the tripod. Definitely a plus point if you got the ecosystem which works together. The weight of 3.44 pounds or roughly 1.6 kilogram is definitely fantastic, and I think it's probably an average aluminium weight for a tripod, so there's no big difference. And if you basically unfold the tripod, you got those clamp shelves, which I prefer the clamp rather than twist mechanism. It's just easy and you can extend the full tripod leg at once, and then you just clamp them back in and they're ready to use. And then when you put it down, it is fairly sturdy as well. You got a bit of movement in the legs, but this purely comes down to because the legs are very thin. But generally speaking, the sturdiness of a tripod, I found it just fine. You might got a bit of shake, but if you use a 2-second timer before you take your image, you balance the shake out. And then also you could hang your camera back at the bottom with no issues to stabilize the tripod even further. Another nice feature of a Peak Design Travel Tripod is that you can dismantle your whole tripod, clean it, put it back together. So it's very handy to have a tripod which is easily to take apart, clean it. Right now, if you're almost in the water like I am right now, it's very handy to have a possibility to clean your legs, to clean your mechanisms, and then put your travel tripod or your tripod back together. A feature I like how they manage the Ballhead with your quick release plate is basically you got your button, you got your lock, and if you unlock your lock, press your button, you take your camera out. And when you want to put it in, you just put it in, click it, and your camera is straight, secure, lock it, and you're ready to use. Perfect. Simple, easy, straightforward. Your camera is straight, secure as soon you put your camera into the clip mount, and then you lock it. However, with more heavy lenses or other lenses, as soon you open your lock, you press your button, it can happen that your lens is a bit front heavy and your camera will fall forward maybe. With the quick release plate, with the average quick releases plates, you got a bit of gap where you can open it slightly up and it will stay secure in your quick release plate, and you couldn't pull it out if you wanted to. However, I think the way of if you click your camera into your quick release plate and you lock it is very handy. A little downside to this is you're so close to your adjustment ring that sometimes if you're not carefully, you open your lock, but also you twist your adjustment lock around. So you need to be careful with that. I think one of the scariest things is having your camera over your shoulder, and you need to make sure, or you need to be sure that this mount, this camera clip, quick release plate, whatever you want to call it, is secure and will hold your camera without any issues. And quite frankly, so far, as long as you make sure your quick release plate is locked and then you don't have any problems with the Peak Design quick release plate, this lock will hold your camera in place, and you can even shake it. It is sturdy, so no worry about that. Another nice feature is also this little button here, which you can pull out, twist, and then you can adjust your height of your middle pole, twist it back in to tighten it up, press it in, and it folds neatly within your tripod as well. So there's nothing standing out really which takes space up. Everything is very well thought through. But also, if we're coming down to the factor of we wanted to put a tripod away, even the ball head, everything fits nicely on top into each other, so you got minimal space to use. So there are probably two more things we should talk about. First of all, here at the bottom, you got literally an iPhone holder, phone holder, which can be handy, but that's probably not the reason why you want to buy this tripod. You can get those cheap phone holders way cheaper. However, this little clamp, also basically your camera hook, I found it sometimes a bit tricky to actually get it back in, and also you need to get it off. Basically, if you wanted to put your camera upside down into the tripod, which is actually very easy and very handy as well, that you can easily swap your camera around. The only downside, I think, is that you rely on this little hook, which can be very hard to put in as well. So overall, to change the camera to a lower position is very easy. However, this little hook, I found it sometimes a bit tricky to get it back in, back out, because you need to half pull it and then you twist it and then you stuck it back in, you half pull it, so you need to push both plates apart from each other. I hope you can see this right now. And then get it back in, pull it apart, put it in, and then it's in. And it doesn't necessarily feel very secure. So I'm a bit worried about this. But generally speaking, if you wanted to go at a lower shot, it's very simple, easy. You can mount the pole also upside down in, and your little phone holder is basically here in a pole as well. It's a nice gimmick, but I think a majority of us, when buying this tripod, gonna use a normal camera. So let me get this back and then we're moving on. So my final conclusion about the Peak Design travel tripod, aluminum version, I think you get what you pay for. $350, $400. I'm gonna leave it down here so you can see the exact price I paid. I think it's definitely handy to have this tripod. The size and weight is just this normal tripod. The size, of course, is a bit smaller. It's just as big as a water bottle, which is definitely handy right now if you do a lot of run and gun shooting. You carry a lot of times a tripod with you around, then this tripod comes definitely handy. You can probably stuck it in every single side pocket of your camera bags or anything similar. So definitely handy to have like a tripod. You almost can wrap your hand around it. Of course, not every tripod is perfect. There are a few downsides to this as well, such as like this little hook, which I found hard to use, or if you would wear some gloves in a winter time, you definitely need to take some off to get this little hook at the bottom out. The adjustment ring and the lock ring are fairly tight together, so if you're not carefully and you unlock your camera and you unlock at the same time the adjustment head, you might drop your camera slightly. So keep this in mind that your camera or your lock and your adjustment ring are fairly tight together, so no accidents here if you pay attention. Elsewise, I think this tripod is quite a lot of fun to use, easy to use. You can flip it upside down if you want. You got to adjustment bubble here as well to see if your camera is straight or if your ball head is straight. But I do this in camera and use my meter level to see if I'm straight with the horizon. So overall, I think if you got the money, this tripod is worth the money. The legs are a bit flimsy when they pulled out at the beginning, and they got some, yeah, space to move. But as soon as you put the tripod down, the tripod is fairly sturdy. You can hang your camera back onto it as well to make it even more sturdy. And there is a bit of shake before you take a picture, but if you put a 2-second or 10-second timer in before you actually take a picture, then this shakiness is completely gone before you take an image. So overall, I think it's a good package. Price-wise, as mentioned, yeah, it might be a bit more expensive, but I leave it up to you if you think this is the right tripod for you or if it isn't. And if you liked this video today and if it was helpful, hit the thumbs up button, like, comment and subscribe, my friend, and I'm gonna see you very soon in another video. See ya!